Welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we are coming at you on February the 12th, 2021. First of all, it's great to be here. It's great to have something nice to talk about that doesn't suck. And that, ladies and gentlemen...
It's been a while since we've been on.
Absolutely. I'm not going to apologize for it, but there was nothing to talk about. Really, we weren't going to sit here and talk about what could be and just rumors and stuff like that, but there's some actual news to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. That is the return of WHL hockey in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So today the news broke that Regina is being selected as the hub city for the 5 Saskatchewan teams and 2 Manitoba teams. So a 7-team pod, let's call it, division.
It's not a bubble.
Not a bubble. No, it's not a bubble. It's a hub. So 7 teams total, 24 games. What is that? About a third of a season ish. Maybe a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a third, let's say. So that's not bad. I mean, February 12th, we would be normally kind of winding down the season, getting into, March, the last couple of weeks here, or month or so, 2 months left. And depending how the team was doing, it might be, we would already been past trade deadline and sold off and kind of, it would have been an interesting time, but interesting last year has brought us to this. So February 12th, announcement of the season starting not until March 12th now. So it sounds like all games being played at the Brandt Center from what I heard today on the news. The teams... Now, I was a little worried when I first heard this. I thought, this is going to be expensive if they're at hotels. I did hear that they're going to be at the university... Not barracks, what are they called? Dorms? Dorm rooms?
Dorms and Luther, I heard.
And Luther, okay. So that's good financially. I thought, man, they're going to burn through all that money they got quick here.
Another thing, I don't know if this is common knowledge, but you can rent the university dorms as a hotel room, in the summer.
In down times, can you? Just as a normal person?
Yeah. And it's kind of a cheap option rather than going to a hotel. If you just literally need a bed for a night or two somewhere.
I stayed when I was younger, in Calgary. They still have Olympic. Whatever they call those, the residents, and you could rent the
Olympic
sports
Village.
teams. It was awesome, right?
Yeah,
like a sports team, and yeah. Anyway, so that's where they're staying. So hub, not bubble. They'll probably be very diligent on outside contacts and things like that. But it's approved. Of course, this follows the news of the Central Division starting up. They're actually starting a little bit earlier, February 26th, also doing 24 games. So Central Division minus Swift Current, they'll just be the Alberta teams. And they're not doing the hub play, though. They're going between the different cities. Again, it sounds like you were telling me a story about Red Deer. So yeah, just explain that a little bit further.
Yeah, they're staying 100% in the rink.
Yeah, so they've created.
So they set up. Yeah, they set up the suites as rooms.
Yeah,
they got beds and everything, and the team will just stay there most of the time until they go play.
Not a bad idea.
No, it isn't at all. Right?
If you think of billeting, I mean, that's a huge bubble. Because if you have every billet, and if your billets are working, the parents work, they're coming home, kids at school, man, that's a huge risk. So yeah, that's a good idea by Red Deer, I think, to try and limit that risk. Now they're playing weekends only because their first couple weeks of the schedule are out. Do we know that the East will be doing the same, or are we assuming this? We don't really know too much about how the games and the schedule is going to look, do we?
Yeah. There's no Eastern schedule yet, obviously, but with the Central, they'll just they'll play one team home and home on a weekend, and then wait till the next weekend and play home and home with another team. kind of like some minor hockey, higher end minor hockey was doing that, and senior hockey was doing that in the fall here. Kind of just if there was an issue, you got a whole week to figure it out and
Yep.
kind of go from there. Now with it being here, I don't know. Like, are they going to have you play the same team, pretty close together? Then you wait 3-4 days and then play another team here. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do. And so it looks like, yeah, they'll be playing all games at the Brand Center and then just practicing in the Cooperator Center. So I wonder if kind of each team will have their own rink to practice in or what.
Right.
So,
Is anyone else using those rinks right now?
yeah, they're still being
Okay.
used. Minor hockey is still going.
Okay.
Not to much extent. There's obviously no games, but teams, you can still do the 8-person on ice at a time.
Okay.
So I know because there's going to be no refunds for minor hockey. So you've paid for your ice time. You can still keep going on. I know my coworkers' midget team, they do it in groups of 3. So everybody gets on every night and they do 8 people for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 8 come on and then the next 8 come on. And they said, well, we'll just keep playing because we're not going to get a refund, obviously. So we might as well just keep going to the rink and getting some on ice stuff going, right?
Yep. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they've got some good facilities at their disposal there. You're right. They have how many sheets of ice there?
There's 6 at the Cooperators.
6.
And so, they're going to be practicing during the day when minor hockey isn't going on.
Yeah.
And honestly, there isn't probably a ton going on in the evenings either, because not every team is going to be practicing and all that.
Yeah.
And some of the other city rinks are still open as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like the most logical choice. I don't know everyone else's venues that they would have to offer, but having the
I
Brand
think
Center,
Winnipeg had a pretty good option, but I mean, Winnipeg, their restrictions there are a little more strict than here. So
yeah, Brand Center is the main rink, and then I mean, connected to the Brand Center are 6 sheets of ice. So yeah, it seems like a really good idea. It sounds like weekly testing for everyone. Masks. I think the only one. I don't know if there's masks on the bench, but players on the ice do not have to. Coaches have to. Yeah, and they're going to be really diligent. Hopefully, there's. Now the other thing is the next thing is there's no fans, of course. So it hasn't really been announced what the streaming coverage is. I heard I was watching CTV today. They said there's a new platform. That's all they said. It was a new line from last year. I remember watching it last year. And it was it was Flash based, right? And it always came up on my browser. Flash is ending the end of 2020. So now we're in. It Flash is dead. Can't even use it if you wanted to. So the old platform that we watched on will have to be somewhat different. I don't know if it's a different service provider or what it's going to look like.
Well, so, there was a big announcement that there was going to be a new provider for this season, a CHL-wide provider, and everybody was rejoicing and everybody was pumped. But I guess TVA and Rogers in the queue nixed that deal. So in the queue this season, they're back on New Line. So what kind of technology they're using this season is I'm not sure, but it is New Line still. See, the announcement in the summer was going to be with Verizon.
Okay.
And so apparently that sounds to be like the provider who's going to be doing it. Now it's not official or not, but it's, well, I guess we'll see soon here what's going to happen.
And this whole sector of streaming and delivering live broadcasts and stuff like that has probably exploded. I imagine there's some new companies or new options, or the ones that have did provide it in the past have maybe hopefully stepped up their game. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Be interesting to see the pricing too and how all that works. We were talking before, and our season tickets are bought and paid for. We've done that, and I personally, I'd be fine if they said, listen, your season tickets are just now your streaming service. If that's an option, I would be okay with that. I mean, it's an expensive streaming service, yeah, but I don't know if we're going to get that money back otherwise. It, I don't know. I don't know what their options are going to be. So if it keeps the lights on, the money's gone, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. It sounds like it's going to be more of a monthly cost. I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't know, maybe around that $40 a month. And yeah, I think it's maybe all access for that.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's obviously going to be different here because you're only going to have it for 2 months. I think it's 50 days. That's it. 24 games in 50 days.
Is it really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Huh. Okay.
So yeah, so over a full season, yeah, that maybe is a little. I don't know if it's on the expensive side. I don't know what's a month or what's a season. 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Regular season. So 40. So that's $240, and I think we were looking at what $399, something around there.
For
League pass for the season.
Was it that much?
Was it $299?
It was a lot, whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how they do that. I think it's critical that they get it going and get it accessible, right?
Well, I think you wouldn't be doing it with no fans without a better or a decent service, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be one of the keys, because if nobody can watch it, well then what is the point of even playing at that point?
Yeah,
right?
You watch the highlights on the 6 o'clock news on CTV, right? Or something. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. So that'll be interesting. It has to have been a major talk over the last little while.
Yeah.
For them
and it was in the release today, so obviously they've got it hammered out.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Yeah. I mean, there's now from this, of course, now we have things to talk about. There's going to be talking about the 20-year-old situation. I don't even know people may not even be coming. They may not even be, they may have already written it off and not pursued other things. Who knows, right? So lots of probably developing stories over the next few weeks. Who shows up, what camps look like, if they're running training camps. I don't know. They've got a month, so we'll see. I know I did talk to some people in just had some connections with other teams, WHL teams, and they were doing things during the week. Like they were still on ice, doing on ice time up until I think they really shut it down a little bit more. But so we'll see where the Pats are in that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's kind of who might be really come down to for a short season like this, and who stayed in shape in the off season, who kept their focus and did everything they could to be ready, right? And not, because there's no, it's 24 games. You don't have time to lull into it. There's probably no preseason, no exhibition games.
No, it would just be your 24 games, and whoever shows up to play, right? Like there isn't going to be much of a carrot at the end of it, right? Here, there's not going to be, I don't think, any playoffs. Definitely not inter-division playoffs. They might have a little playoff if everything goes good within the division. Kind of have as a division champion kind of thing. They'll have 4, maybe. I think the ideal situation is maybe have 4 division champions for this season, and that's it. Like, I can't see anything other than that happening.
I'm not going to totally write it off.
Okay. That's fair.
I had written this season off. I said when January rolled around and we missed that January 4th start date, there's not a chance. So to see this, you get the 4 division champs by, well, that being said, BC is not indicating anything yet. So it could be,
that's
BC
the thing.
Might be on the too bad.
These all these are starting at a different time. They're going to end at a different time kind of thing, right? So couple teams got to sit around and wait for another team,
Yeah, well,
the other teams to finish. I don't
it's
know.
like the Memorial
There's
Cup.
lots of logistics, right?
Yeah, that's okay. But let's just theoretically talk through. So you get your
Yeah.
say BC gets going, they get a I don't know, it's an 18 game season something. You get your 4 teams. You could bubble your 4. You could or
You
hub
could,
them.
yeah.
So you get that, and if the OHL and Q get going, then hey, you'd have a little
Just a
Memorial Cup.
3-team tournament.
Yeah, Memorial Cup in
Wherever.
July or something. Who knows? But hey, now this. I mean, I had written off the season. Hadn't really thought a lot about it. Work, all this other stuff going on. Hadn't really paid attention. Now with this news today, I feel just rejuvenated.
Yeah,
So,
reinvigorated.
yeah. I'm not gonna be negative on it. I'm happy to have this.
No.
Whatever comes of it will be great. I think the players, I mean, they're kids. This is all they do. They're not like, it's not like, oh, well, this is my part-time. This is all they do. They play hockey. So I think there's a lot for them at the end. They're going to play. They probably didn't really have too much confidence in the season either. So hopefully they're feeling good. And yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like any hockey is better than no hockey, so I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about anything. Even if all it is 24 games, I'm happy with that. Get to watch some hockey. I haven't even got into the NHL. I haven't even got into that.
I've loved it. Honestly, I'm not a huge NHL fan, but it's on like every damn night, and it's sweet matchups. It's like Oilers, Canadians, Oilers, Toronto, like
that's true.
Winnipeg, Vancouver, like over and over and over. And you're just like, when I saw that division, I was just, this is awesome. These Canadian teams over and over. They play like the 2-game sets. It's on all the time. It's great. It's one of those things. You just have it on. You're like, turn on. It's like the playoffs last year, right? Just on. And
every night, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean,
I
was watching some Avalanche, and then they got shut down, and I'm just like, oh, here we go again. So I haven't got into it much at all.
Even yesterday, they delayed the Oilers Montreal game by an hour because they were like, oh, we got to do some more testing.
Whatever works, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So was there a positive then?
They didn't say. Maybe it was
because
inconclusive. I don't know.
Yeah. Because there hadn't been any positives in the Canadian division this season, is what I heard.
I think you're right.
Up until maybe this
that.
point.
Yeah. And I don't know if there was maybe there was, but if there was, I don't know. They haven't said. At least I haven't heard.
Yeah.
But
I did. Going back to who's focused for this season. Greg Carter just did a good interview with Cole Dubinsky. So he's got his own little rink he just lives outside Edmonton. So I think they've maybe got, like an acreage kind of set up. And so he's got like almost a full size rink out there. And he said, yeah, I've been out there almost every day I can. There's 6 of us, the same 6 of us playing or doing whatever kind of thing, just pond hockey, and they got a goalie. And so he's been going hard, working out. He said he's growing a little bit as well, put on some weight. And so sounds like he's really focused.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think it may come down to who's put in the effort, kept focus during this long lull. And for the Pats, they played, in March? No. When did we get shut down? February?
Yeah, March. I think it was March. I don't know what the date was, but it's going to be a full calendar year.
Yeah.
Ish.
It's pretty much probably close to the day, a full year since they played real hockey. And it's a long time. I mean, they're young kids. That's like a lot of their life, right? So, it'll be interesting to see who kept in shape, who can keep their skills up and the focus up over that time, and be ready to hit it hard, because it's going to be fast and furious. 24 games. And then, we'll just ride that wave, and we won't even worry about playoffs, anything like that. But like I said, we got lots to talk about over the next month. The roster, see how that comes together. The 20-year-old situation. Bedard, like, if that's a go, everything's good there.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
we
this is
haven't
exciting
even
news here.
said his name, right? Like in exceptional status, and we're finally gonna see him play,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just damn, we don't get to see him in person. But hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get
No.
some media
So
access or something.
March 11th was the last game,
Okay. Yeah.
so
So
it's gonna be a full year.
almost to the day. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to say?
No, I don't think. I think that's it for now, and we'll kind of ramp it up here and get back into, like you said, some more fine details of the team and what we look forward to, and we're just happy to have hockey back.
Yeah, I imagine we'll start seeing some stuff. So they'll start get going here and doing whatever team activities, and if their news is starting to come out, we'll be talking about it.
Definitely.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up for tonight. Yeah, just wanted to talk about the news, and yeah, that's great. Excited.
Definitely.
All right. Okay, folks, we will check in later, and thanks for listening. Check us out on the socials. What are it's been so long we haven't even said them. What Twitter at WHL Patscast is our main source.
Jam.
Yeah, main jam for us. Facebook a little bit less. We were dabbling in some live broadcasting. Maybe get back to that again. That's just under what?
WHL Patscast?
If you search for that, you'll probably find it. And yeah, we'll get some live streams going there again. And yeah, that's about it. Twitter's probably the best place, though.
Yeah,
to get in touch with us. Yeah, that's our most active. All right. Well, let's wrap it up, and we'll talk to you guys maybe as early as next week. Good night.
All right. Good night, guys.